Welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade story, Shadows on the Nullarbor. While we are coming to you online, I would like to ground us in our analogue spaces by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands that we all find ourselves on and pay my respects to the elders past and present that preserve and care for our country and have been storytellers like us for thousands of years. Now, let's meet our vampires, starting with Hunt.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Hunt today. Hunt is a Generation X philosopher warrior and an unmistakable product of the 80s and 90s. He is ripped, he is lean, and you know he rocks the ultra skinny jeans. And I look forward to you meeting him.
Excellent, thank you. Avis.
Hello, I am Ben. Tonight I am playing Avis Blake, lawyer turned entrepreneur in the tech sector, which is an unusual place for the Ventrue to be, but he's trying to make his mark in a changing environment.
We'll see how successful he is. Marlo.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm going to be playing Mahler, the therapist for the dead. Should be good. Oh, the somber therapist for the dead. I should have added clan, hey, shouldn't I?
You know.
It's not obvious.
Not obvious. And Blue.
I'm Tal. I'm playing Blue tonight. Blue is a bourgeois who likes a little bit of political activism on the side.
Yeah, everyone's got to have a hobby.
That's
Excellent.
right.
And now for some housekeeping. Shadows on the Nullarbor is set in the world of darkness, and while on the surface it looks like a lot like our own world, it's actually darker, stickier, and much more confronting. Our story contains mature themes, including but not limited to body horror, graphic violence, blood, death, power imbalances, sexual themes, and social injustice. Please watch at your own discretion and remember to take a break from watching if you need to. We use a system of lines and veils to ensure player safety in our story, which I have discussed with all of our players. And with that out of the way, shall we embark on our journey? We open our scene in the waiting area of the East Perth train station. Platform extremely long, right up against a multi-story brown brick building with concrete staircases. It's not a beautiful building by any stretch of the imagination. Some might even hesitate to call it functional. The last rays of sunset have long disappeared over the horizon, and the well-lit station is still a hive of activity, with mortals alighting metropolitan trains that slide through the platforms before they inevitably hurry off to whatever activities their short lifespans are filled with. A coach pulls away from the bus terminal, laden with passengers bound for a regional WA town. Despite having a reputation for being a sleepy backwater of a city, it seems Perth never quite fully sleeps. Moving towards the building itself, we can see groups of people milling around the extremely long platform that serves the Indian Pacific train. The harsh concrete platform reflects back cool white fluorescent lighting towards the even colder, whiter denizens of the platform. A red velvet rope splits one section of the platform from the other, and three individuals stand chatting as their luggage is taken by mortal stewards for loading onto the train that stands waiting for its passengers. The waiting party chatters away with one another, ignoring the mortals as they gather suitcases and duffel bags, when a pot plant against the external wall of the station shifts despite no breeze in the air this evening. A short figure wearing a hoodie high over their head extends a long arm to place a dark green duffel bag on top of a luggage trolley before seeming to disappear once again back into the shadows. Now let's turn our eyes to the other end of the platform. There is no red rope here, no bustling of stewards, no luggage trolleys. Instead, we see a group of people standing awkwardly, with whatever luggage they have brought with them not being gathered by attendants. They have come from various locations across the planet, not knowing each other, and no discernible common thread besides a simple white envelope that was delivered to them just a couple of weeks ago. A similar message emblazoned on each. I have a job for you, all expenses paid. Passage has been booked. Perth to Sydney on a train to guard some items of the utmost importance. Further instructions upon arrival. I will owe you a major boon if everything goes according to plan. Signed by one Prince Sarrasine of Sydney. So, each of our kindred here tonight heeded that invitation and made their way to Perth and are now standing on the platform of the Indian Pacific train to make their way to Sydney, awaiting further instructions. Looking around the platform, you will see each other. So please, Hunt, what would the others see?
Hunt is absolutely married to the fashion of the mid 2000s. He's got his basically spray on black jeans, thinks of himself a bit of a movie star type. So he's got his really tight black jeans and his designer sneakers, and he's wearing a black t-shirt with a suit jacket over the top. He's permanently stuck in the blazer and a t-shirt era. Sometimes he goes for a white t-shirt, sometimes he goes for a turtleneck. He makes sure to, he's got a scrapbook of like the red carpet looks from men in the mid 2000s. It's an ugly thing to behold. Hunt is a little bit shorter than average, very, very lean and fit looking. He's extremely ripped. And the most iconic thing about him, I suppose, is that he is wearing his sunglasses all the time. And if he takes them off, there's nothing weird about his eyes or anything. It's purely affectation. So, and he's always constantly shifting, like almost like he's flexing and stretching all the time.
Right. Never quite comfortable in his own skin, perhaps?
Oh, no, he's very comfortable in his own skin, and he wants you to see how comfortable in his own skin he is.
Understood.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Blake, what would the others standing on the platform see as they looked at you?
Mr. Blake, avis to his friends, few as they may be, is dressed particularly sharply. A well-pressed and tailored suit. He would have a spare change of shirt in his bag in case something happens and he needs a quick change. But a red tie, black coat, a messenger bag carrying what looks like the outline of a laptop. Black shoes, polished, keeps himself well, and he's on his phone just checking the news, seeing what's going on. It's daytime somewhere else, and that's business.
Understood. Always on the move, if only through technology.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you. Blue, as the group casts their eyes towards you, what would they see?
So Blue is kind of stuck more in the 90s with how she presents. So she's got the sort of short black bob, but it's like that tousled bob look instead of straight, where, it was more functional cut than fashion cut. She very, very much looks like the environmentalists from that era. So like the denim, the boots that were vegan leather as opposed to, animal leather. And the shirts that could be flanny one day, could be cotton the next, that sort of thing. So sort of before it was chic hipster, that was more sort of functional look.
Understood.
She's not really carrying bags in her hands. She has a sort of slouchy rucksack on her back made from like that canvas sort of material that's quite hardy in the rain.
Yep. Army surplus special.
Yep.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Marlo.
Marlo would not really have a sort of fashion sense of being stuck in a certain period of time, more just a timeless classic, if you will, in sort of pinstripe with the black and the very thin grey, sort of suit pants, a silk button up done up quite respectfully up as high as it probably could be buttoned up. And they stand there very, very tall, straight back, proud, one hand on a very small, hard-cased suitcase.
Excellent. Lovely. What a striking and unusual group of vampires we have tonight. Excellent. As you're standing here on the platform of the train station, you do see down the other end, beyond the red rope that All the bags have been loaded onto the train, and it looks like our friends, fellow travelers, are setting about to actually board the train. Once again, we see that pot plant rustling. Still no breeze about. How odd. And as you are all kind of looking down that end, being the only discernible real point of any sort of action on this platform, you do hear a behind you. How's it going? And as you look behind you, you see quite a short individual wearing a beige suit, beige akubra, and a pin on the lapel, mimicking the eagle, the wedge-tail eagle logo on the side of the train. And this person strikes you very much as a steward of the train. She says, right.
I'm terribly sorry. Didn't see you there.
That's all right. I was standing behind you. It's totally fine. Unless you got eyes in the back of your head. It's all good.
Not today.
Yeah. Good one. Well, if you guys have like all of your luggage and stuff, are we ready to go?
As I'll ever be.
You guys brought luggage?
Just what's on my back.
You plan to rest in those clothing and wear it for days at a time?
I have everything I need.
No?
Thank you. This
All right.
door here?
Yeah. If you guys would like to go up the stairs, up the stairs to your right, there's a little seating area. We'll go through the safety instructions, and I'll get you oriented to your rooms. I do believe that I have been told to give you some further instructions once we've got all of the business out of the way, with like making sure you guys are safe and all. Sound like a bonza way to go, all right? All right, follow me. And she just like doesn't even wait for an answer, just starts walking up the stairs.
I follow.
Yeah, I'll follow as well.
Yeah, I'm in.
Excellent. So as you go up the stairs of the what you now know to be the Indian Pacific train, you do hear down the other end honking. It sounds very much like the train is ready to go, just going through those last preparatory steps. And as you turn the corner, this individual does lead you into a fairly nicely appointed sitting room in greens and beiges, little bits of gold here and there. And you do see gold cloths on the wall in a little crest. There are booths and little chairs and table settings. Not like ostentatious or anything like that, but just nicely appointed. And she stops in the middle of the room, turns around and looks at you all and says, please take a seat. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just need to make sure that everyone knows we're good to go. And she turns back around and walks down the other end of the room past a doorway. Just, you can still see her through the glass window on the door. She picks up a phone and is obviously just talking into it. But you are, for all intents and purposes, by yourselves for a few minutes.
Squish my face against the window and look out.
I mean, it's
Like
East
a
Perth train
12-year-old.
station. There's not a whole lot that you haven't seen. It's a brown big brick building.
I'm seeing it a different way through the glass.
Are we just in normal sort of seating there, or is there a special compartment that we're in, or?
So this is just like a lounge area in a train compartment. So you've got booths that are facing each other with a table in between, and then you've got every now and then you've got like 2 or 3 chairs sat around a small low circular table. It doesn't look like a dining car or anything like that.
Are there any seats where I could have my back to the wall so I could see the entire carriage?
You could certainly shift one of the lone chairs by themselves around the circular tables so that your back was up against the side of the train. Yes, there'd still be a window behind you, but yeah, you could definitely do that.
I'll do that. I'll take one of the
Excellent.
seats, move it, sit down so that I can see the whole carriage.
I can imagine that when Blue goes into areas like this, she will just naturally, without even consciously thinking of it, remember where there's potential improvised weapons. So if the chairs can be lifted or if they're bolted down, all that kind of thing as well.
Well, seeing this well-dressed individual shift a chair around, yes, the chairs can definitely be lifted. There are also some, what are they called? Pedestal lights that, perhaps you could smash the top off and use as a pole or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely potential for some improvised weapons. Sorry, Marlo, what were you going to say?
I was just, you mentioned there was booths.
Yes.
I'll just sit in one of those and make sure I tuck my suitcase under the table, just out of the way.
Fantastic. So as you guys are moving furniture, checking the room out, sitting down, getting yourselves settled and sorted, this individual walks back in and says, all right, I reckon we're going to be off in like a couple of seconds. By way of introduction, my name is Lacey. I will be your steward, your hostess with the mostest for our journey today. I will be the person you ask any questions of, and if I don't know the answer, I will either make something up real quick or I will go and find out for you. Our trip today is our trip over the next 3 days is going to cover 4,352 kilometres across about 65 hours. That is, for the uninitiated, 4 days and 3 nights. Yeah, you're here on a special journey. We have been specifically commissioned for this particular trip. That's pretty great. We don't get that very often. It's a bit nice. You are gold class members, which means, and she gestures to the side of the wall with the crest on it, that these rooms are available to you. You have this room and the dining car in the next room, and then some bedrooms beyond that. And she puts her hands into her pockets and pulls out some white cards. I have been told specifically that you four are supposed to get these key cards that give you access to the cargo bay. I'm being told that you are supposed to keep an eye on some stuff, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah.
Excellent. And she walks by each of you, hands out the card and says, all right, now, when we get underway, normally we don't really need to stop for much. We'll be stopping 3 times, but you're given an announcement to let you know that it's happening. In the event that there is something on the train tracks, we may need to stop abruptly. You will not be given a warning, obviously. So please make sure where your nearest handholds are. Keep an eye on them. Maybe don't do any lacrosse in the hallways. Maybe a little bit dangerous, but yeah.
Cricket?
I won't
Cricket.
tell if you don't.
I mean, really, do we look like lacrosse people? I mean, he does, but...
I was thinking more polo, like with the horses and stuff, champagne. Yeah, doesn't
Not
matter.
a fan of champagne.
I have a question about your cellular service. During the trip, how much reception can I expect to have?
When we're in the metropolitan areas, you will get it. There are stretches of this road that we are on now that do not have it. No matter what they say, this 99% coverage stuff, nah. Nah.
Okay.
We do have limited service, but obviously, it's not Australian infrastructure, am I right? Yeah.
Well, I should say now and get things out of the way. I
Right.
work on American time. I'm a bit of a
okay.
night owl, so I work on their business hours. So unfortunately, that means that I will have a do not disturb for the daylight hours.
And she looks around. It's like, I get it. It's okay. Everyone on here is a bit on US hours, if you catch my drift.
Oh, that's what you meant by commissioned.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, the big boss.
You just picked up on that.
Yeah. I picked up on that with the bedrooms and stuff, but
Just wanted to make sure
Nice.
things were clear.
Look, no, it's all good. It's all good, mate. I would much prefer that everything is out in the open and there are no misunderstandings. I am here to provide you with a service. And if I do not know what level of service you are aspiring to, I cannot either meet or exceed your expectations.
So quick question. When you talked about the dining car,
Yep.
given what we are,
Yeah.
that type of dining car?
I mean, there is a soiree later on this evening
Okay.
where refreshments will be provided.
I like a bit of red wine.
Yeah, no, it's good
like
stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't know that we've got like a really good vintage or anything, but there's definitely some full-bodied reds on board if you catch my drift.
Yep.
Nice. Well, if there is anything else that you need to make your stay more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask. As I said, my name is Lacey and I will be your hostess with the mostest. If you would like to follow me, I can show you to your rooms and get you across the intercom system.
That'd be great. And then if you could point me in the direction of the cargo bay.
I will show you.
If you actually need me, don't bother with the intercom. Just come and get me personally.
Technology is not going to hurt you.
No, but I can hurt it.
Right. Yeah,
Best to keep you away from it.
I was given a heads up that there would be one of you. Yeah, maybe give me that card back and I'll give you, she puts a hand in her pocket, a key, like an actual bronze key. It's like,
Yeah,
would this be more your style?
Demagnetize the card or something.
There's no point taking it back.
Yes,
I think it's done.
I mean, I get audited on all assets, so maybe I'll take it back, eh?
I'm holding it out.
She grabs it and chucks it in her pocket, but hands over the key instead.
I will pocket the physical key.
Just so you all know, your key or your key card will get you into areas that you are permitted to get into. We do have guests in our prestige area, our platinum area of the train. Obviously, without an invite, you cannot get there. So you will need another member of our passenger ship to invite you in up that area should you wish to go and explore. But as I said, there is a soiree tonight and you are more than welcome to come up to the platinum end in the lounge area. There will be refreshments and entertainments and it's just going to be a really nice time, eh?
I'm sure it will.
Sweet. Well, if you'd like to follow me, I will show you to your rooms. And she, again, without hesitating, just turns and walks through, grabs a swipe card off her own like lanyard and bips, goes back through the door.
Linger a moment so she can actually open the door properly.
I'm going to make sure that I keep some distance from Pinstripe here. Just
excellent.
Pull my laptop bag in front of me as I
Yep.
walk.
Damn shame. Oh no, your assets.
It's on the cloud. It's not on the laptop. Don't worry.
I don't know technology.
I've tried to explain this to Kin many times, and it doesn't seem to land.
Oh, I just don't. Why bother keeping up with it if it doesn't keep up with you?
So as you make your way through this doorway, there is a small sort of area between the two carriages. It's enclosed with like accordion type plastic overhead and down the sides, and another door opens and you are shown into same sort of a pointed area where the carpets are in a green and beige sort of swirled pattern with threads of gold through it, and the curtaining across one side is of the same sort of color spectrum, and there are doors along one side and a walkway along the other. And she looks at you first, Hunt, and says, this is your room if you'd like to test your card so we can make sure that works. Door opens. It's a small, functional, comfortable enough looking room with its own bathroom. She shuffles along.
Is there enough space to do push-ups on the floor?
Yeah.
Right,
So,
start doing push-ups.
You will see Hunt doing push-ups.
I don't care about their other rooms. They've got their own rooms. That's their
Don't
rooms. I'm in my room.
The door closes. Blue, this is your room.
Okay. first thing I'll do is basically go in, throw the bag on the ground, and then launch on the bed just to see how comfy it is.
The bed is currently in
No
a
difference.
seating sort of configuration. So these rooms are day and night rooms, and the bed is kind of like a Murphy bed in that during the daytime it's up in a couch to give you the most amount of floor space, and then obviously at dinner they come and roll the beds out for you. I guess the most functional way to make the most of the space that they have. But yeah, at the moment it's in a seating area, but you can definitely like sprawl out and enjoy the space.
Yeah, because it doesn't make a difference how comfortable it is. I know that, but I still, like to check.
Old habits die hard.
That's right.
There are
Yeah.
plenty of uses for beds besides sleeping.
So
Push-ups,
that's
for
actually how
instance.
like.
Napping.
Lacey shuffles along to the next room and says, sir, this one is for you.
Thank you.
The door opens, same sort of deal. Very functional, nice, clean.
Is there a table at all?
There is a very small table, and it's sort of up against one of the walls,
Okay.
conceivably so that it can be like a nightstand once the bed is rolled out.
Okay, I have to send a quick email letting my business partners know that I'm going to be potentially out of communication for the next couple of days as I travel.
I mean, do what you got to do, mate. All right, miss, if you'd like to come with me. She looks just like, okay, well, dude, why are you telling me this?
No, sorry, that was me telling you,
Right.
the storyteller, not Avis telling this human.
Fair enough. I mean, look, Lacey's a people too, okay?
I called her human. That's there are much worse
I
things
guess
I could
that's a
have
step
called
up from the bottom of the barrel, dude. So Lacey shuffles along to the last room in this particular carriage and says, all right, well, I mean, it's a bit unconventional, but give your key a shot, eh?
I just put it in and unlock it.
It does turn, but it's definitely not the preferred method for this particular door.
Do a shuffle as I,
Yeah, you go to slide and it's like, you jiggle the key a little bit. Eventually it opens and you're met with the same sort of layout.
I will go give Lacey a nod of thanks, and I'll go sit on the couch. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but where my couch is that directly adjacent to the wall where Avis's table would be?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. I sit down on the couch.
Mr. Blake.
How thick are the walls here again?
Not thick enough.
You're about to hit send on your email when the screen gets a series of lines across it, and clouding kind of creeps in from all four corners.
I recognize the signs and fling myself and the laptop across the room.
Directly into the other wall. Hitting.
Do I hear this thump?
Give me a wits plus awareness roll. First roll of the game.
It can only go so well.
Can I also confirm these chairs that turn into beds?
Yes.
Are they manually done like that or electronically?
Manually.
Oh, you're not stuck in the seating position the whole time, Marlo.
Or stuck in the bed position after.
I mean, there is a placard on the wall that does show you how to change them, but it is also part of the service that during the dinner time, the staff will come and reorganize your bedroom for you, unless there is a do not disturb, obviously. 3. Okay, for 3, you definitely hear a thump. Blake, would there be any cursing, perhaps?
Did I manage to save the laptop?
I mean, there's now a crack in the screen.
Screen is just a screen. Did I manage
Yep.
to send the email? Is the hard drive okay?
Give me an intelligence plus technology.
Okay.
Actually, give me dexterity plus technology, which is an unusual roll for attempting to hit send while you're launching yourself across the room.
Okay.
Any permanent damage to your laptop is your own
1.
liability.
One success.
Hard to tell.
Okay.
My
The
effects
screen's a
aren't
bit
permanent.
The screen's a bit clouded now, and there is a crack across it. So
Well, probably not getting much use out of this now. Is there some kind of storage here I could securely lock and place some things away?
Absolutely. So each of your rooms has a small hanging space where you could put suits or whatever. You do also have a safe, which has instructions on how to code your own code into it. And there are a couple of like little nooks where you can pop bags and things like that.
Okay. I'll place my laptop in the safe. I'll keep my phone on me. I'm hoping that that's going to be a bit hardier because it's probably used to being out in the world. It's the harder technology. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
We'll see how it goes.
I'll put up my like spare suit in the coat rack. Take a few things out of my bag, put them in my coat pockets, and then put my bag away as well.
Excellent. Are there any other preparations anybody's wanting to make?
Moved on to
I think-
pull-ups on the luggage rack. That's
I
it.
thought it's me.
Considering the types of places Blue is used to sort of shacking up in, she's used to like not really preparing anything or having a routine with this sort of stuff.
Fair. So outside of your doors, you do hear all right, are we good for dinner?
I
I
Leo.
might give dinner a miss if that. I might give dinner a miss if that's okay.
You're talking about the soiree or just dinner?
I mean the whole shebang. It's kind of a thing.
How long?
Have
until that?
we pulled out of the station yet? Or are we still in the station?
Still in the station.
And how long until that exactly do we have?
So it's a couple of hours, but if there's anything that you guys particularly need now that you have seen your rooms, just let me know. I can grab them. Can I bring you some maybe an appetizer or something like that?
I'm more into like, I'm not really a dine-in kind of guy. You know, more
Right.
of a, yeah,
You like yours takeaway?
yeah. I like to be able to go get them.
Yep.
A pickup kind of dude.
Right.
Yeah, so the whole like sit down dinner thing doesn't really appeal.
I mean,
Not
I
into
can
delivery,
organise
definitely
some
kind of more of a
sport for ya.
takeaway.
Some
Yeah.
DoorDash.
No, I don't want to brought to me. Like I'm more of a go get it myself. You know, I like getting out and getting the exercise, and you
She
know,
rolls her eyes and goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake, mate! I can organise you to go on a bit of a hunt if you want in one of the carriages."
it's just easier for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe later on, just later at night when everyone's kind of bunked down a little. Yeah.
So you can make a noise while you're hunting. I mean, look, you do you, buddy. Yeah,
We can
sure.
open up some doors in the down the train, and you can just run for them.
No need to do that. No one will know. No one will notice. I mean, they'll know eventually, obviously, but like,
I mean, we've got a pretty
sit
good
down dinner
clean-up
isn't really
service.
my
It's
jam
fine.
anyway. That's all. Parties, though, I do like parties. So
I think this is a bit of
I
a party, if I
have-
understand.
Kind of been told that attendance is mandatory. Whether or not you partake of the refreshments is up to you.
As long as the refreshments are consenting.
Yeah, there's like I'm pretty sure we got, a licorice all sorts bag. Yeah,
That'll do.
cool.
Well, Lacey, lead the way.
Well, first of all, I've got to show you to the thing that you're supposed to be
Ah.
looking after.
Yes,
I
of
mean,
course.
Don't
you
ask.
know,
That's why I
Okay.
asked
we're
how long
all
until
kind of
the
on a
dinner
job,
is.
so
I'll tap the door shut.
all right. Will, follow me. All right.
yeah, let's get on it.
While
Yep.
we're walking, can I read the paper that we were given?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, because I thought we were going to have a bit of a moment in our rooms beforehand. I was going to read it then, but
So the letter that you were given.
The one that got us to here.
no, the another one we were. Oh no, that's like we were given cards. Sorry,
We're giving key cards, yeah.
Key
Yeah.
cards.
I remembered white square, and I thought letter.
No,
Can we
no,
edit that
this
out?
is a different thing. A different white square. They have them now. They're called
I
key
don't have a
cards.
white square anymore.
I gave yours back.
No white square for you.
I've had my privileges removed.
Hmm.
You demagnetized your privileges.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got no one to blame but yourself.
Darn.
Cell phone, yeah. Cool. So she takes you through the next carriage, which is quite clearly a dining sort of a carriage, and then into a another sort of section in between the carriages, and then into what is quite clearly a oh my God, I'm absolutely blanking. A cargo carriage is the word I'm looking for. But this is all kind of off to the other end where you boarded the train and turned right to go into the seating area. This is all back through that sort of area.
So this is further down the train, away from the engine.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And those keen-eyed would have noticed that this is towards the back, like at the back of the train. It's a solo carriage. If anyone wanted to have counted the carriages beforehand, this is the very last one. And she pulls up her key card and says, in the event that you guys lose your cards, if for some reason you can't get in here or get into your rooms, you're going to need to come back to me and get another coded key card, because obviously we can't let all and sundry in here, yeah? So, and yeah, if you need another key, you're going to have to come and get a key from me.
I actually had a question about the security system here as a whole.
Yeah.
What does it run on? Is it just electricity?
Well, no, it's a two-parter, right? So if the electricity gets cut, then physical bolts go into the door and it can't be opened unless it's got a key.
Right.
Oh, what a good crazy happenstance that you guys have like electronic users and people who can't use electronic stuff.
No, I was just asking just in case.
Yes, for a second I thought you were asking what operating system they were working on, but that was
No,
was
well,
way off
That's
base.
above my pay grade, mate.
if we're protecting this item from God knows what.
Yeah, I don't know.
That it can
Really,
be protected
We
from
just pray it's not
God
Windows.
knows what.
I mean, honestly, carrying stuff on a train's a bit weird this day and age. But, you know, whatever. He's an
Depends
old
on the
kook
stuff.
anyway. Crazy old men are going to do what crazy old men want to do, eh?
Very true.
So,
Crazy old rich man.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what's in here. There's a manifest. I'll let you guys read that. Again, above my pay grade, but I was told there's no cameras inside because of reasons. I don't know, but there's a camera on the door. So like we'll be able to see who goes in and out. What else?
So with the dinner being mandatory,
Yeah.
that kind of leaves this very sort of
Unguarded.
Yeah.
I
Do we have to
suppose
be at the
they
dinner the whole
assume-
time? Can we like relay that, tag team it? I guess.
Hey, I was just told you guys had to be there. Interpret that as you will.
Who told you that?
I
we had to be
reckon we
there?
roster.
Big Cheese.
Sarrasine himself.
Yeah.
Is he here on the train then? Will he know if we're
Nah.
not
Nah.
He's got private jets and helicopters. He's not coming on a train.
I
there?
mean,
Well, that's what I'm
he wouldn't come to
implying.
Perth either.
That's what I'm implying. Why does it matter if we attend if his items are protected?
I don't know, but when the big boss says something, that something gets done, all right?
I reckon we tag
Sometimes
team
we
it.
just have to follow the instructions we're given, despite that
Tag
they
team it.
might not make sense.
Yeah, exactly. We'll pass the baton. We'll take in shifts. Whatever. We've got this. We've got this.
It's not the fact of following instructions, it's more liability.
Liability
We
is the
are
one,
at
right?
the mandatory dinner and these items get stolen. Then we are liable.
Destroyed.
Well, are
Hecked
we
with in any
though?
way?
If he's
Yes.
ordered us to be at the dinner,
It doesn't
That's
matter.
not
whether
have to
we
be
Lacey,
there
are.
I
the whole
believe this
time.
conversation is perhaps above your pay grade.
Yeah.
We might step inside the locked and secure cargo room and continue, if you don't mind.
All
Yeah,
right.
it maybe eyeball what we're actually watching before we make decisions about how
I'll-
we're going to watch it.
Stay out here, I guess.
That's a good idea. You say here.
All right. Yeah.
How long have we got until the thing?
And she checks her watch and goes, about an hour and a half.
Plenty of time.
But hang
Ages.
on a second. You might want to hold on to something. And you hear over the intercom, boom, boom, boom. We are now departing East Perth train station.
I grab
Please
onto
hold
a
on to
railing.
something.
I brace myself and
As you
deliberately
feel the
do not hold on to
train-
anything so everybody can enjoy
So you're
my
surfing.
yeah
Nice.
my dexterity and ability to hold my balance.
Excellent. What is everybody else doing as the train
Just looks like
suddenly
he's straining.
lurches?
It's really awkward.
I'll just
Grab
Blue
something.
will
Grab
lean
something.
up against one wall and just have her leg outstretched so the foot's against the other wall, leg slightly bent so she can hold herself still but move with the train.
Got it.
angle myself so that my legs are easily I can brace myself for the starting and stopping the go motion, and then I put like a single palm against the wall to
Perfect.
steady myself.
Hunt, can I please get a dexterity and athletics from you, as everyone else seems
Fun if
to
I failed
be
it. Wouldn't that be great?
holding on to something or
Wouldn't that be
bracing
delightful?
themselves?
This is not Avis's first time on transport like this.
No.
He's been on commuter trains before. He knows how this works.
Yeah. Hunt is taking the scenic tour to
What was
whatever
that?
standing they're trying.
Athletics, I mean, I am good at this. 3
Yeah, that's enough.
successes.
The train lurches and you're
do-
like, "What?" and
Shuts up for
and
nothing.
starts off again. And yeah, you manage to hold yourself with some semblance of composure.
Oh,
It's
it doesn't
fine.
look good. It looks like he's like just
I didn't say
squatting
that it was
tense.
graceful,
Doesn't look good.
but you didn't.
It's not.
face
It's not
plant.
impressive. It's just working.
It just is. Yeah. Excellent. So Lacey turns around and is very actively looking down the other end of the train while you guys are making your way into the cargo.
Tap
carriage?
and I'll like gesture. Everyone can go in.
I'm gonna beeline for the manifest.
I'm going to look at the size of whatever box is in the cargo and if it's people size or item sized.
Okay.
I'm going to keep my eyes on Lacey, step back into the door and wait for the door to close to see if she looks. Okay.
There is a little window, but no, she's just with her back to you.
Okay.
Excellent. So Marlo is going straight for the manifest, and Blue is scoping out the size of boxes. Hunt, as you enter the room.
I'm gonna kind of clamber over the top of things and basically sweep the walls and the ceiling for other entry points and
Got
the
it.
back and see if there's just anywhere else that may not be secure or could potentially be a vulnerability.
Points of egress. Got it.
So like, hang on. I just want to say this. Avis turns around, sees Marlo has dashed for the manifest.
I've strided.
And Hunt is like up
I'm
on the
climbing the walls.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Up on the, okay. All right. I just want to get in the mindset of what my character is seeing. It's like, okay.
I've taken
Chaos,
firm
I believe, is the word
strides.
you're
I haven't
looking for.
run,
Yeah.
but I've
All
taken
right.
firm strides over
Okay.
towards
You've
where the
power
manifest
walked
is.
over.
Yeah, no, I
Assertive.
power worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent. Blue, as you scope out the size of the boxes that are here, you do see, so against 2 of the walls, you see various boxes of various sizes held back in mesh, so that they obviously, as the train shifts, they don't slide out. Some of them are quite large. Some of them are definitely, 2 or 3 people boxes. If you want to use some kind of human size as an indicator, some are quite small, and some are, I guess, like packing boxes, I guess. But overall, so there's against 2 sides of the carriage, there's also a clump in the middle that are being held by a netting that is being suspended from the ceiling down and hooked onto the floor of the carriage as well.
So
like
hooked on the ceiling and the floor, like suspended.
Not suspended, but like the netting is suspended.
Okay.
So it's secured regardless of what happens in the ear.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. That in the event that the carriage stops, doesn't matter what happens, this net is going to hold on to the boxes, short of them
Okay.
getting splintered, I guess. It's probably the most efficient way to fill the space without overfilling and still making sure that the entire carriage can be traversed. So yeah, there's a bunch of different boxes in different sizes, I guess is the easy way of putting that. Hunt, you do see that there is a vent in the top of the roof off to one side. It looks like there is like a fire alarm or an escape alarm on it. So it's got a, in case of emergency brake kind of a deal. And you would imagine that this is probably in the event that the train tips over. This is a point of potential egress, but that it is not easy to get out. Yeah. But there is no other door on the other end.
Okay, so it's a solid wall. There's no.
It's a solid wall.
Okay.
Yeah. Marlo, you're flicking through the manifest?
I want to know what specifically we're meant to be looking after.
Right.
Just going to tell the truth on a manifest.
No, vampires don't lie. What are you talking about?
More which packages in specific are we actually meant to be looking at? Like, is it specific ones or is it the whole thing?
Right. So there are a number of line items on this manifest. Can I get a, let's go intelligence and
That's my strong suit.
That's why I didn't go for the manifest.
That's why
so
I tried.
investigation, please.
That's another strong suit.
Blake, as you see Marlo beelining across the room and Hunt somewhere up around the ceiling and Blue going at all of these boxes, what is the first thought that goes through your brain?
Going to willpower reroll.
Got it. So for those who are watching, sorry, Blake, willpower roll, a vampire can spend up to one of their willpower to re-roll up to 3 of their normal dice. So that this is like calling upon the blood and really honing their senses to really push through a moment of perhaps suboptimal performance.
It was
sorry, Blake. Sorry, La Sombra.
So Mr. Blake looks at these individuals that he is being forced to work with. And there's a moment where he thinks, well, I've worked with worse before. I should probably turn this into some kind of team. So I kind of step forward, like kind of puff my chest out a little bit. So if we're going to be working together...
Oh, I found a hatch!
Excellent work. Hunt, was it? I believe the...
Yeah, smush my face against the hatch.
What's the seal like on the hatch? Can you
see
out?
Seems like it's pretty good. It's going to be pretty hard to get in and out of this, but we know it's here now.
Airtight?
Yeah.
Are you certain it's airtight?
No.
There we go.
Blake, can I please get a resolve and composure roll from you as the Ventru blood in you kind of boils that not only did your attempt at leadership get completely ignored by Hunt, but then circumvented by Marlo.
Okay, so that was resolve plus composure.
Correct.
2 success, 1 is crit.
Okay. So as you start to try and bring everyone together, having identified a need for teamwork here, and Hunt just completely ignores you, and then Marlo comes in over the top. You feel, if it was possible to feel your blood boil, you would be starting to feel it roiling and that voice at the back of your head that says, you must be on top. You are of the blue bloods. Get in there, rule like the leader you are, or you're nothing to us. You start to sort of give into it before you go, hang on a second. Maybe now isn't the time.
Maybe this man is just a fool.
Maybe this man is just a fool.
I think Avis has clocked Blake under a category. Which is...
Do you mean Hunt?
Yeah. Hunt. Hunt is useful under a certain category, which is like, they have their uses. He definitely has his uses. He's not entirely sure what they are right now, But Hunt is definitely maneuverable and seems to be physically fit. So that's like, okay, putting that into a shelf and putting a note there for later. He turns and looks at Marlowe, seeing that they are going over the manifest. Like, okay, that's what Marlowe's good at. Possibly. We're not sure yet, but that's what they're drawn to. Then he looks and sees Blue just like investigating boxes. So, Blue, was it?
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What have you found?
I'm just looking over the boxes to see if we're potentially guarding people-sized boxes or item-sized boxes, because, you know, we could be guarding people-sized boxes.
You don't have to be coy. There's no one else.
Oh, that's really smart. Because, like, if the train derails and we end up, like, in a situation where whatever's in those boxes could get, you know, I don't know, crushed or something. If they're items, it's probably less of a worry than if they're people, and that's like a big worry.
Correct.
I was thinking perhaps they are a shelter-in-place situation to avoid the sun.
I'm gone. You misinterpret the value of people to Sarrasine. He would probably care more about his items than people.
So it also depends on how he intends to use these people. They could be very valuable to him because they could have a particular function that not everyone in his court could provide.
I feel like he kind of thinks of people as items.
It feels remiss for me to say that, of course, a coffin is roughly a people-sized item.
Yeah, I don't know why we're being coy about what we're calling things.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, I think if we're going to be working together, we should be on a first-name basis. It helps with communication. It helps with understanding. You may call me Avis or Mr. Blake, but
I'm not calling you Mr. Blake. That's not.
Sure, Avis is fine.
Yeah, that would never. Oh, no, that was never a consideration.
Okay. And
you do look like a Mister, but I imagine you looked like a Mister before the thing with the stuff.
It is just the four of us in here. We don't need to be coy about these things. We all have our yes, exactly. Thank you, Marlowe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Marlowe,
such
what
a
did you get
turn
on your intelligence and investigation roll? 4? Excellent. So as this conversation is going on and you're adding in commentary every now and then, you're flicking through these papers and you do see line items. You do see box number, ID, pickup, and vase, old, antique ? And there are a couple of items where you've got a box, you've got an ID number, and then nothing in the contains.
Can I look for those in the stack of things while everyone's sort of chatting and doing their own thing?
Sure. It might take you a while. There are a number of boxes here and you're not quite sure what size box you're looking for. So it is going to take you a little time, but sure. Yeah. While this is going on around you, you can definitely be looking, and we'll use the same role that you did before. Excellent. So, all right, Blake, you are coordinating with the other two, like trying to get names happening and pitch yourself back at the top of that hierarchy on the team. And Blue, you're still looking at boxes, still trying to figure out what's what.
So kind of looking at boxes, but in typical style, also distracted as if, hey, ADHD kid almost. And looking at, wait, if it is like a special coffin disguised sized person box, is there stuff like how would this protect itself if someone set fire to something in this room?
It wouldn't.
Like
are there
would have to be some sort of fire alarm system. Is it like a CO2? Is it an extinguisher on the wall?
You do see an extinguisher on the far wall, so the wall opposite to where you came in. You do not see any sort of like irrigation sprinkler or anything like that. But you do notice in the ceiling that there are circular vents, and there are the same in the floor. So you wonder whether or not there is a CO2 suppression unit attached to this cargo carriage.
Okay.
Having, infiltrated certain buildings in your time
Corporations before,
and
maybe?
potentially partaken of some incendiary shenanigans, you are aware of such systems. Yes.
Don't ask me about actual like surveillance systems, but when it comes to sabotage type stuff, yeah.
Amazing. So one thing that everyone does notice as they're looking through these boxes or just looking around the room is that the vast majority of them do have kind of like a sigil kind of on them that's almost been spray painted, and it is a scepter and a what's it called, flail, crossed with a snake entwined between them.
I think this is what we're looking for because the symbol looks kind of wanky.
Do I recognize the symbol?
Oh, you would.
I mean, wanky hits the nail on the head. You would recognize this as the watermark on the envelope that you were given. So yes, this is definitely Sarrasine's mark.
Okay.
Now that those boxes have been pointed out, do they match up with the items on the manifest that have no descriptions?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll point that out to everyone as I'm going through, and I'm like sort of bent over looking at them, and the manifest has nothing written about what's actually inside of these boxes.
Oh, I want to crack one so bad.
So here's the thing. Okay, just hear me out.
I want to crack it.
So we have to protect the goods and make sure it arrives undamaged. Did anything say sight unseen?
No, and also the best way to protect something is to know what it is.
Yes, because then we know like if it's like flammable or
if it needs to breathe.
What size box is it?
No.
What's like before we open this thing? What size is it?
So there's a few of them. One of them is about the size of a head. And a couple are smaller boxes. A couple of them have, traditional padlocks on them. One of them has a like a digital lock on it. And in fact, the red lights just kind of glitch as Marlo walks past it.
Because like, hear me out. Like, say one of them has like a really rare
I'm in
it, and then we come in and the box is empty, and we didn't know it's a necklace. We didn't know that the chick in the carriage, like 2 things over, is stolen property.
Yeah. We need to know what they are in case something does happen. We gotta reckon. Yeah,
Right.
I'm on board.
I just want to
look.
I just want to speak on behalf of the potential recipient of these packages. If they are expecting a package to be unopened before they receive it, perhaps opening it would go against their wishes.
Not to mention your point of knowing what's inside so we can see if it's been stolen. Our job is to make sure that they're not stolen in the first place.
Not just stolen, but like also not destroyed. And I think we're going to be more effective, right, at looking after this thing if we know what it is, right?
Perhaps,
I really want to see. I really want to look.
Perhaps
I gotta.
Perhaps I can offer an alternative.
I gotta.
You really want to know what's inside.
I gotta.
If something happens and we are back here because these places have been broken into, maybe you have a look inside and see what's going on. Because if one box has been broken into, we don't know how many others are. But currently, I cast my gaze around the room. Everything seems to be fine.
Hey, Marla, you want to sit on that box?
No.
Perhaps we reshuffle some of these boxes so that the boxes that have nothing in the manifest are hidden behind other things. It took us some time to find them. Maybe if we hide them a little better here.
These have been like Tetrised in by professionals. Did you not see them loading this thing? Like these, like the people who load this have done it in a like. It was
Are you
honestly,
saying-
it was like poetry watching them load this.
It did
Are you
also
saying
take
that you
us a
wouldn't be up
concise
for
effort
a
of trying to
Tetris
find them.
challenge? Surely,
I would
you
be
would be
up
up for a
for it.
Tetris challenge, Hunt.
No,
Not
scavenge.
with boxes. If you get me to
Yeah.
an arcade, I'm in, but like,
There is a knock on the door.
oh,
How long have we been in here?
Not very long, like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour.
ask him if we can take a look.
I'll go and check who it is. I'll look through the window.
It's Lacey standing there, just looking at her watch.
And I like through the window be like, yes. I'm not opening this door yet. Like,
You good? Everything okay?
you said we had an hour and a half before.
Yeah, you don't want to dress for dinner,
I'm already dressed.
if you reckon.
I didn't bring clothes.
Oh, okay.
We're fine. Thank you, Lacey.
All right. Wow. And she just turns her back again, but doesn't
Thank you,
doesn't disappear,
you,
just
love.
like whatever.
We're not opening them. We don't need to know what's inside them. If we did look
wanna.
in them, that I don't care.
I still don't think it's breaking the rules. He did not
I don't
say
think it is either. I
sight
agree with you.
unseen.
It said look after them, not
Yeah.
look at them.
Why are you working for the Camarilla? You both do not seem to be
If the
respectful of any of
if
it.
the assignment
Sydney-
was
Sydney
to
is just
protect the packages,
Sydney
not
is
the
just
contents of the
a place
packages.
that I have to go through to get to the Gold Coast, all right?
Mm. And sometimes respect is just not saying true stuff and being a dick. So, you know,
Not
I
everyone wants a
would
yes
count
man.
being a dick
Yeah.
would be
Can I
opening someone
can I
else's
pull out the
packages.
thing and read it to like find the fine to like fine print? Like, what does it say
Yeah,
specifically?
I was about to do the same.
Sure.
no, sometimes princes need people of action, not yes men.
Yeah.
There's a time for
Infallible
action.
bourgeois logic. Excellent. So the letter itself, very simple. I have a simple job for you. All expenses paid. Passage has been booked. Perth to Sydney on a train to guard some items of the utmost importance. Further instructions upon arrival. I will owe you a major boon if everything goes according to plan.
Okay, and we've been told to guard the items here in the cargo room.
Yes.
Okay.
We have the instruction to go to dinner. There was no instruction not to look in the boxes.
I
But
would
we have
argue.
to guard the
I'm going to
items.
argue that the boxes are the items.
Ooh.
Cracking into them would break the sanctity of the package. And
Correct.
ruining the items.
Marlo and I, despite being on opposite ends of some
Blood feud.
opinions, are right on track with this one.
An ancient blood feud between clans that I
Joined by a desire to shut Banu Hakim and Bruja up that want to go into shenanigans.
Joined by meeting some actual rebels.
Centuries of diplomacy down to this one moment.
And
Don't
shut the
mess
ones
with
we
another
don't need it.
person's mail. We're delivering the box as is.
Tampering with the mail is a federal
potential
crime.
for a federal violation of opening someone's mail is what joins two forces. It's amazing.
So
Never before.
Blue's going to stand in front of the one that has the digital lock
Yep.
and then ask Marlo to come over so that Blue
Can I just talk to you?
Blue, I'm not an idiot. Stop treating me like one.
No,
We're not opening any of these packages. And if I'm correct, that type of lock, an electronic one, even if the electricity is gone from it, it will clamp itself shut.
Oh, that'll just break it more. Yeah, nah, don't do that. Stay away from that one.
That is why I'm standing over here.
I have the feeling that the reason why the four of us were picked is we've got two people who are, ooh, protocols, and then we've got two people who are,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're here for a reason.
yeah.
What reason is that exactly?
Our stunning good looks.
That's why I'm here.
I was thinking more our fists, but you know.
Marlo actively looks at Hunt, looks down, looks back up. Just,
I'm right.
are you?
Yeah.
You have a massive, massive ego.
I think it's confidence. Confidence is sexy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not egotistical if it's true.
I'm going to have to side with these two, Marlo. Sorry.
I believe that is quote of the evening. It's not egotistical if it's
It's
true.
true. Just like it's not paranoia if they're all against you.
Yeah.
Now, I think perhaps we've searched this room, found the entry and egress points, not found any unusual devices.
I was about to look for some concealed
Yeah,
objects.
did
if
we
you
look
will.
for that? I don't think we
No,
looked for that.
I'm about to look for that.
Oh, okay,
We
I
should
thought-
probably look for that.
Yes, let's see if there's anything here that shouldn't be.
All right. So everyone's kind of hunting around the room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
might take
Ceiling.
the manifest with me. I feel like leaving the manifest. Actually, we could just hide the manifest.
Yeah, just like
Behind a
find a gap between the
box.
crates and just like drop it in.
Because
it
I
in?
think leaving it
Okay.
out in the open maybe just it's like giving somebody a GPS location to the treasure.
Understood. All
Well,
right.
it does have
Hang
a
on, wait.
Yankee watermark
Marlo,
on it.
Marlo, let me teach you something about technology. Click.
No, thank you.
Because of it, yeah.
Take a picture of the manifest
Okay.
Why
cool.
do we need the photo of it?
in case we lose the manifest.
We're not going to.
But now we have a backup. Okay,
We're hiding it. We're not losing it.
yes. But if somebody...
If someone else came in and did something to it,
Yes.
and then it wasn't here when we came back,
Yeah.
we've got a copy of it.
Just commit
Exactly.
it to memory.
What? I have this.
This is my memory. What are you talking about?
Your memory
Excellent.
can be dispelled with a touch.
I keep the important things up here. But there's too much in the world to remember everything.
You don't
So
have to remember everything.
everyone who is looking for concealed objects, can I please get an intelligence or wits, whichever is better for you, an investigation?
I'll say
Okay.
that I'm actually just going to spend the time to actually photograph the manifest.
Actually, so I don't actually have. I'm not actually bad at this bit. It evens out.
Now, how I get a plus
My
one die
worst stat
bonus,
evens
right?
out with some not too bad ones.
Sorry, Marlo.
I get a plus one die bonus for specialty and concealed objects, don't I?
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
Okay.
Just
So if
saying
you've
it for the
got
folks
something
at home.
if you've got something written next to your skill, that is a specialty. And so if you're engaging in something that can harness that specialty, it's an extra die to your dice pool.
So I had 3 dice, one being
Yes.
a hunger dice, and on the
Mhm.
hunger dice I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Right.
On the
buddy.
2 normal dice, they were both 10s.
Well, that is a success overall, that that failure on your hunger dice doesn't come into it. It's all good.
I also
The
critted.
beast quietens down a little bit. Sorry, Marlo.
I also critted.
Okay,
But
so
I
4
got-
from both of you.
I got 5.
5, 4. Yep. 1. Or hunt.
It's a success. It's hard to look for shit when you're monkeying around up on the ceiling.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And
My
looking
beast
for
was quelled by shinies.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. So, hunt, you're monkeying around, like tracing vents with your fingers. And, ooh, what's this?
Get my fingers stuck in a vent briefly, and
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Not in front of these new people.
Shit.
I just
Make a good
thought that
impression.
was
Make a good
cool.
impression.
She's got the best brain image right now.
Sorry, it'll grow back.
It'll grow back.
What
It's
a
fine.
smart man.
Blue and Marlo, you both do find some concealed items. Blue, you find that there is a packet of cigarettes and a lighter hidden behind one of the stacks of boxes, and a couple of crumpled up cigarettes already smoked. And strangely enough, the lipstick color does look a lot like what Lacey is wearing.
Huh.
And you also find a comb right next to it as well, like a little personal stash almost. Marlo, as you're kind of scouting around, you do, out of the corner of your eye, you do see something hidden behind a grate that doesn't look like the same sort of black for 5 that the rest of the darkness in that particular area does. And this is what alerts you to the fact that something might be there. So as you look a little bit closer, you do see that there's like a fabric bag hidden behind like what would be an air conditioning vent or something.
How's the vent secured to the wall?
So it's just like a square frame that's got like rivets or screws in there.
What type of screw?
Flathead, Phillips.
Phillips.
All right. So I was gonna use my key that I was provided by Lacey to just, unless one of you have a Phillips head screwdriver on you stashed away. But I'll just very carefully
the key works. It does now. What's the flat one? Is that flathead?
That's flathead.
Yeah, one of those. So you can use the key.
Or a coin if you have one of those, considering key cards don't work for you.
Yeah, no, we got coins. But I I had the key in my hand already probably, so.
Yeah, sure. So as Blue, you're like, some fags. And Hunt is still trying to get his finger.
Somebody get the butter.
Yeah. It's like, okay, all right. And then a good little like a drop and like a 3-point landing, like the action hero landing.
Yeah.
Just and hope nobody saw.
Okay, flip as you stand up.
You see that Marlowe is crouched down, kind of up against a corner, and is working away at the frame around a vent before pulling off the vent.
What you doing?
I'm pulling the canvas bag that's been hidden in the vent. I will slide it out and
open
it up.
Shit.
So as this bag is pulled out, it's black canvas, and like you would imagine it to be dusty if it had been here for a while, but it isn't. It's very clean.
Is there any tags or labels on this bag?
No.
Is it locked in any way?
No.
I'm going to
we can look at it
very carefully pull a handkerchief out of my pocket and just on the zipper pull it open.
Note inside, if you find this, you're doing a good job.
I need to rewrite this part of the story. Sorry, that's a good idea. So as you go in with the handkerchief, you don't really feel hard things. There is definitely something there, and as you pull it back out, it's just more black, dark black velvet.
Like bags?
Kind of pulling it up and looking around, part of it drops out, and it looks like an opera glove.
Dress?
This is somebody's stash for the party tonight.
I think Blue found somebody's stash. This is someone's costume.
No. This is that's a different type of stash. I would say there's no smoke alarms per se probably in here, and Lacey likes to smoke on the job. This would be I would say somebody has snuck on board, and this is their costume.
They're going to change. They're going to use that to change. They're in not appropriate clothes, and as they're not a passenger who don't have a seat, but they're anywhere to put stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
hey, I've got a crazy idea.
That is some Mission Impossible shit.
What else is in this bag?
There's a black velvet dress and a blonde wig.
Okay, I've got a crazy idea. I obviously don't have clothes that is for fancy dinner. How about I wear this, and that sabotages whoever planted this?
And then we can see who looks really, really disconcerted at you showing up looking like that because you're wearing their shit.
That's right.
They'll be like, what the fuck?
That might make them not arrive to the party.
But if we keep a lookout and we spot them before they spot, like, if we're looking for the reaction, will know who it is.
Not if they don't show up.
But if they don't know before, if we make sure blues, but if we make sure blues, like,
I think you're misunderstanding what I mean. If they aren't at the party, if they leave wherever they are to come get dressed, and they find that their things are missing, they're not going to come to the party.
They might have to. It's mandatory, and we're on a moving train. Where else are they going to go?
Yes,
It's mandatory for us.
But
where else are they going to go? They're on a train.
Back to their room.
Okay, then we look down the corridors and we search the rooms and see who didn't
There's
go and see who's like,
who
why are you wearing my shit?
It's really important for them to be at the party, or else they wouldn't have stashed their shit here.
Or hear me
Party's
out.
part of their plan.
They be there. Whether they
I think you should wear their stuff. I
later.
think it'll look real good on you.
And I think we should add to this, perhaps Blue. First of all, there is nothing wrong with what you're currently wearing. However, it would be particularly funny if you put your current clothes in this bag and we put the bag back into the vent.
Okay, so
may I finish speaking? Thank you. I say, now that we know what this person is going to be wearing to the party, including how their hair is going to look, we put this bag back exactly how we found it. And so we know exactly who we are looking for.
I mean, that's a better plan objectively, but it doesn't involve Blue wearing their shit and then being like, oh my god, wearing my shit.
Work.
So
this is a job, not a circus.
Marlo, that is an excellent idea.
Job.
I'm sorry, Blue.
Work.
But I agree with Marlo. That's a very good idea, Marlo. Well thought out.
It is a very good idea. It's just not as fun.
You know, I could have stuck my flennies in here and they could have turned up in flennies and,
They wouldn't have turned up if they have thought ahead enough to put this in a vent concealed. It would throw their entire plan off kilter and they would not show up.
That's exactly why they still have to show up, because it's obviously really important for them to be there. They would just have to find a different way, like dressing as a waiter or some form of.
And there's a spare waiter uniform around. If you're so hard pressed to find something to wear, Blue, you can always do that.
I don't.
Could you imagine what would happen if somebody asked Blue for a drink?
I'd give them a drink. I'd say, "Here, hold my beer."
I'm going to zip the bag back up. Is there anything else other than the dress, the wig, and the gloves?
No, just those.
Can I at least wear the wig?
No. I zip it back up. Look, if you take their items and you show up wearing it, they're going to know that we are onto them.
Okay.
We don't want them to know that we are onto them. We want the element of surprise.
Have you packed them back in exactly the way they were?
If you give me a moment, I will.
Okay.
Trains move about.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be particularly uncommon for it to be a little disturbed.
Would you notice if your clothes were a little disturbed?
If they're being in a bag, in a vent, on a train, I think I'd be probably occupied with whatever other thing I'm doing.
I'm going to zip the bag back up and try and put it back more or less the exact same I found it.
Give me a dexterity plus larceny.
I'm looking at Liz like larceny. It's like reverse larceny.
Melissa, you like me, right?
That is a loaded question. You know me.
You're not
going to
make me roll one single die. I have points in last.
That's pretty funny.
You can always rouse your blood.
I might have to, because I really don't want to. I really don't want to roll one.
So for those watching at home, rousing the blood is a thing that vampires can do where they call on their blood to boost an attribute. So they make what's called a rouse check to see whether or not that makes them hungrier. And then regardless of whether or not it does, they can add a different number of dice depending on their generation and their blood potency to their roll to give them a little bit more of an edge.
I do, in fact, get hungrier. Just a little bit.
What are you currently sitting on?
I'm now on 2. I was on 1.
So as you call on your blood, that voice in the back of your skull, the claws that scratch against the bones, just a little bit more present.
Annoying. And annoying because I gotta go look for another hunger die in my bag. Prepare to get hungrier. Oh, I disappear.
You did. The
You
hunger
full
pain is
disappear when you do that.
real.
And that is 2 successes.
Cool. For 2 successes, you're relatively certain that you've managed to put this away in a very similar position to how you retrieved it. You managed to put the screws back in. For all that you can currently see right now, it looks like you have successfully put it back as it was.
Lou, do you mind if I have those cigarettes in the lighter?
Okay, so I want to go back to how yourself and Marlo have presented things tonight, that if it's not ours, we shouldn't be touching it and we shouldn't be taking it.
That's
These
a fair
are not
point.
yours.
All right, are you going to leave them there?
Well, I was going to give the lighter to her to carry on her person rather than it being recklessly left in here, but I was going to leave the other items there.
We could also let Lacey know not to come in here and smoke, as that provides a security liability.
It does, but I feel like we also would like to stay on her good side because she knows this train and we've already kind of put her off a little bit. It'd be nice to have...
She's also
It'd be-
mortal.
If you're taking the lighter, you
Yeah.
may as well
And we're
take the
not.
cigarettes.
Well, it's easier for her to hide a lighter on her person because it doesn't have, I mean, you would be aware cigarettes carry a particular smell. It would be more discreet for her to have a lighter on her person than to have the whole kit and caboodle on her person.
We also don't really want her coming in and smoking in here, but rather than straight up tell her, why don't we just give them back to her and just be like,
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke them in there.
we found
Put them
this,
somewhere else.
Smoking's bad, kids.
and we're going to give them back and,
As
like,
long
be
as
nice
we're not
about it.
taking them.
nice
I'm
about
going
it,
to-
maybe.
What am I going to do with
Sure.
cigarettes? I don't breathe.
You can actually smoke cigarettes without having a constant inhalation exhalation
would I-
process.
I have no need to. That's the
can
point.
Forcibly make your body do that.
It doesn't
Looks
provide
cool.
anything for me. I don't need to look cool. I'm confident in myself.
Sometimes those of us can actually use it to strike up this thing called a friendship with people.
I
But
have
I-
friends.
I-
Oh,
Matt,
maybe you should
Open up
go.
my
Maybe you should go
coat,
outside with
pull out
Lacey,
a
and
pack of
that's a really good
cigarettes.
idea.
That's why I carry these. Put them back in my pocket.
I have friends, Blue. This is a work. We're working right now. You do understand that, right?
That's why I
Yes, but-
carry these for work reasons.
Work can be fun too.
These are my work cigarettes.
Yes, if I have to have a conversation over smoko, sometimes you need to go and have that conversation.
Mhm, mhm.
It's been a while, but I can manually remember how to compress and depress my diaphragm enough at least to smoke a cigarette in front of somebody else. And sometimes deals can be made over those cigarettes.
Yes, or
On board.
gathered.
Perhaps we leave then, if we're done in this room.
Yes.
I think Lacey is getting impatient with us out there. I would also recommend we put the manifest somewhere hidden if we haven't already.
I thought
under
you had
things.
already.
I don't know if we had already or not.
I took
If we had
photos
roll
and then I
for
put
it
it
or-
wherever you hid it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dropped it between some crates.
yeah.
I'll find it eventually.
Yeah, it's not particularly well hidden, but it's enough that like at a cursory glance, you don't just see it.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
it
Where
makes-
before it was on the other end of the wall and Marlo was able to make a beeline for it. Now you'd actually have to know kind of
Yeah.
where to start looking for it.
Marlo's anticipating that there will be something happening now that they've found this duffel bag in the event. They're
Mm.
anticipating that something will be happening now.
We're on here for 4 days, 3 nights. There's a duffel bag in the vent. We've been brought on as security. I get the impression something's going to happen.
No.
The universe has a way to conspire against individuals, and it feels like events are being put in place.
It's just
And
a
I
tour
have
ride.
to say, I think that they expect it to be one of our kind that does it because they don't have anyone rostered on for the day.
That's why I'm checking the vents and making sure that they're airtight.
I don't have anyone rostered on for the day that they've told us about because we won't be there.
ghouls are a thing.
But I would have thought that they would have told us if they had day people, so that if we came across them, we didn't deal with the situation.
It's not for
We'll
us
find out.
to know. Probably above our
We
pay
could
grade.
just be bait.
It's probably a need to know, and we don't currently need to know. Well, we've kept Lacey waiting long enough.
We have.
We have a party to attend.
Mm.
All right.
The
Well, then,
enthusiasm is overwhelming.
Avis is going to go and like open the door.
Lacey's back greets you.
Lacey,
You're right.
yes, thank you. Everything is as we expected.
Fantastic. Can I be of any further assistance?
I look back at the group, see any like. I believe that's all.
Chill out. Enjoy yourself.
Don't smoke in there.
I don't smoke.
Don't lie to me.
Look, it gets boring.
It's a security liability. Please don't smoke in there.
Fine, I'll
Oh,
go
wait.
up the other end.
I believe Blue has your cigarette and lighter.
Yeah, here you go. You can use
Cheers.
my room if you want. I know you've got access to it anyway.
Yeah, nah, I'll go up the other end and smoke in the hoity-toities rooms. Ah, trust
you very
me,
much, Lacey.
after tonight, you'll want to smoke in their room too.
And I already do.
I mean, they're a bunch,
Anyone who can't carry their own bags, just
right?
Uh,
Snobs.
Thank you very much for everything you've done so far, Lacey.
I mean, you're welcome. I haven't done a lot.
You've done enough.
Oh, you know what? I reckon you guys are like the first people in ages of your kind that have ever like said thanks. So yeah, you're welcome.
welcome.
Not to be like rude or anything, but you lot aren't very polite generally.
No, we're not. And if you
Nah.
think we're rude to you guys, the way that look.
Oh, I know you're rude to your type as well. Like, yeah, whatever. Not my first
Speaking of
rodeo.
rude to our type, I forgot to add in that I would have tightened those screws real tight.
I bet.
Nice. Almost stripping them.
Yeah.
No,
one
not
of the
enough so
mortal
it
vent is
looks
getting
like
in there.
someone's tampered with the vent with an obvious like non-screw drive, but enough that it's going to be hard for
They're
them
going to have to
open it up.
work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
And
it.
no mortal is getting in there without like a power tool.
Awesome. I will make a note of that. Power tools needed. Excellent. Cool. So Lacey's looking at you all and is like, well, I mean, we're a little
assuming-
early, but I mean, we can go up if you want.
I would prefer to go get refreshed in my room for a moment.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. I mean, there's complimentary, I mean, yeah, you guys don't smell. So, go for it. What
Like,
else?
you're right.
Yeah,
I never thought of that before.
yeah. Unless
I
you get
will-
muck on you, you just don't smell. It's weird.
I always
I
Dead.
guess because we
Keep a
don't
can of-
sweat.
I keep a can of deodorant with me just in case. Just to
Oh, it's not that link
No.
stuff, is it? Yeah,
No.
nah, good.
No.
Good.
You wouldn't keep. I wouldn't.
I mean, you
Please.
never know. You never
Please.
know, right?
What's wrong with links?
I mean, if that's your thing, tops as, mate. She makes her faces just like to Avis, which is just like, ew.
Mhm.
So, what would everyone like to do at this point? We've got Marlo going back to their room to freshen up. What is everyone else interested in doing?
So Blue will also go back to freshen up, but her idea of freshening up for this hoity-toity party, since she wasn't allowed to wear the fancy clothes, is to put on the most bogan flannel outfit she can. And then mess her hair up so it's kind of spiky and off in all these different directions. And that's how she'll be dressed for this evening.
Nice.
Actually,
Avis
Marlo,
is not responsible for the impressions of the people that he's working with. He is
Marlo
not
was actually
responsible
going
for their
to offer-
reputations. He's just working with them. It's fine. Avis is going to go to the bar or wherever the social situation is happening.
Sure. Lacey will just kind of say hold for a second.
Okay.
We'll all go up there together. But I mean, go take a seat if you want, and then when all the others are done, we can all go together.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take a seat, and then while I still have some data, I'm gonna post about excited to experience the Indian Pacific cross the Nullarbor on.
Isn't that like super illegal for like your specific bent of like? Don't you guys like not do that in particular?
This is my social media company.
Yeah, but like, aren't the cam like super like that's like
it's a business. It
Yeah.
has certain benefits.
Yeah.
My social media app, in case you aren't aware, Lifeblood, is about connecting people of the world who have an environmental inclination. We are protecting the people of the world and those particular people who care about the continued existence of the world and the people within.
Okay.
It's part of my overall life group. We're currently expanding to involve Life Wind, Life Automata, and I'm hoping to get to Sydney to start up a Life Solar, which I particularly find interesting because taming the sun to get power really sits well with me.
I think the storyteller's taking psychic damage.
that's a cult.
Yeah. It's
That
also,
sounds like a cult.
And they're all at my fingertips.
That's a cult.
can I just point out though that if we're meant to be discreet, telling everyone you're on this train ride, not the smartest idea, because if they find out that, you know, the princes had stuff that's traveled, they're going to then be able to connect you with it. And say a bunch of shit goes wrong and we have to pretend we were never here. You've got it out on social media. Hey, guess where I was?
I am a bit of a internet personality.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to tell them really what you're doing when you're
Yeah,
meant to be
nobody's
doing
lied on the
opposite
internet before.
stuff.
Fine.
Yeah.
I won't send the tweet.
While this
I
conversation
won't
is
send the
happening,
post.
while this conversation is happening, Marlo, you're freshening up in your room.
I was actually going to go and take one of my spare, like, buttoned up shirts and knock on Blue's door, but I think Blue has just automatically gone out to the bar, so that's okay.
Blue has a button-up shirt. It's called a flanny over a cotton.
Yeah, but so in Marlo's mind, you were complaining about not having anything to wear, so Marlo is providing a thing to wear. Take the kindness from the La Sombra.
It doesn't
Take the
happen
kindness from
very
the
often.
Sombra.
If you walk into the room, you'll hear me explaining the benefits of my social media app and how it's useful to, you know, connect people who care about environmental issues.
And what is your app called again?
Don't.
Lifeblood.
So
Do you want to break the masquerade?
It's called
you-
plausible deniability.
It's
I work
I forgot.
during the
Slimmy,
night.
Do you
My
plan
app
to
is
open up
called
another
Lifeblood.
company?
If somebody says, "Hey, do you think Mr. Avis Blake could be a..." No, just a coincidence that all these things are together. It's plausible deniability.
You haven't met many hunters recently, have you? The Inquisitioners don't care about plausible deniability.
Neither does neither does the Eiffel Tower. I mean, really.
Especially, I mean, given the restrictions and things in place for my clan, you really think they're going to be fine with Adventure parading an app called Lifeblood? You may as well be posting yourself sparkling in the sun.
I'm surprised you know that reference.
I can watch movies.
Books exist.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, they're not.
I'm sorry, Marlo, but
I sit at the
keeping up
front of
with
the
pop
cinema.
culture doesn't exactly strike
projector
me
at
as
the
your
back.
thing.
I can watch movies. The projector is at the back of the cinema. If I sit in the middle or at
Huh.
the front of the cinema, I'm fine.
So for Twilight, you'd sit at the back, right? For the sake of everybody
No,
involved.
sat in the middle.
Yeah.
Lacey enters the room at this point.
I mean, I'd take the job, but I wouldn't enjoy it.
So I see we've made friends. This is good. This is good. Well, if you guys are ready, I mean, it's nice that some of you dressed up. I guess we can go down the other end. You all ready?
Let's do it.
As will ever be.
Sweet as. All right, follow me. And again, she turns and just starts walking.
As we walk, I'm trying to explain. Listen, I created the app
Nope.
before I was embraced, and so I have to keep the
Yeah.
Nope.
You can
In
rebrand.
the background, Blue's actually signing up because she realizes she can actually get her eco groups to communicate through this app.
Blue's like, oh,
Yes.
I hate this so much.
What are the Ivory Tower going to think about this?
Oh,
I
no,
don't-
this is terrible. I hate it.
Group.
yes, more
The
data.
Camarilla hears about this, I'm telling you.
Oh dear Lord, what have we done? Amazing. So you do go through a couple of carriages. Most of them are bedrooms. They're quite plain looking, departure from the sort of the beige and green with the gold threads to just kind of like, I don't know, very demure, bordering on old looking, and you do suspect that these are probably the staff quarters for the stewards that are on the area, on the train, sorry. As Lacey comes to open one of the doors after you've gone through a second carriage of these dormitory type bedrooms, the train does kind of lurch from side to side, and you do need to grab hold of something. So I'll get everyone to make me a dexterity and athletics roll, please.
Watch me fail this, even though I should be good at it.
Mm.
I've got 2 hunger die, but I've only got 1 dot in athletics.
You're
In
rolling a hunger
dexterity,
dice.
sorry.
You just roll.
Just the 1?
Mm-hmm.
One success.
Success.
Why do I keep putting my dice away and then having to get them back out again? Okay.
I have a little tray in front of me of wine.
Now it's 6 and up, isn't it?
Correct. So for those using numbered dice as opposed to the White Wolf, the paradox specific dice, you use a D10. 6 and above is a success. 5 and below is a failure, and we count up the number of successes in total. So 3, 2, 1, and 1. You only
I only
needed
rolled 1 die.
You only
Nice.
needed 1, so you managed to like brace yourself against a door. Blue and Hunt, you managed to grab hold of the windowsill or a handhold up above.
I just squat weirdly again.
Yeah. You surf the train. It's all good. Give me 2 seconds. Lacey, very seasoned, grabs hold of a door handle and just kind of rocks in place before continuing as though nothing had ever happened. She opens the door and you are met with a very different sort of aesthetic here. This is all very rich reds and a lot more gold sort of placement. And you do see on the wall, not unlike down in the seating area where you first entered, a shield, but instead of gold, this one says platinum. This is a very similar configuration to the seating area. So you have booths and small sort of seating areas around round tables. This is very nicely appointed. You've got vases with flowers on the tables, look like they're glued down or something. It's just very elegant, I think is the word that you're looking for, Melissa. It's not opulent, it's just very nice. And Lacey walks through, she says, I mean, if you like this sort of color, as she says, looks over her shoulder back at you, continues walking straight through, and opens the door into the next room, which is a dining car. And here you are met with same sort of palette. There's some very light music being played by a trio in one corner. There's a number of individuals, some of those you saw before the train left. down the other end. There's a group of people sitting in a couple of booths, and they seem to be chatting away, holding drinks of various colours in front of them. And there's one individual just kind of skulking off in the corner.
My type of person.
The hostess with the mostess turns around and says, "Welcome to tonight's soiree. Usual rules. Please don't try and get into any areas that you do not have permission to go into. Should you be invited back into one of the quarters by one of our platinum passengers, of course, you are welcome to accompany them, but your pass will not get you back in there. So once you leave, that's it." Yeah, if it wasn't made abundantly clear before, we know what's going on. Everyone here knows what's going on. So enjoy the evening. I will be over here, and she points over at like a little bar off to one side. Says, "If you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to approach me. Otherwise, enjoy your evening."
I guess.
On the way here, there were the staff quarters and the living space for the platinum people. Yes, so we had to pass through there. So this is really not the best place to be to monitor who leaves and goes
No,
through
especially
places.
if we can't get back in if we leave. That kind of torpedoes our plan of tag teaming, watching the
I think we're now
stuff.
looking for
Suspicious characters.
blonde
suspicious
hair,
character, blonde hair, satin dress.
black velvet dress and gloves.
Can I like look across the room? Is there anybody that stands out? Anyone that I would recognize?
Make me.
Same.
Anyone who's looking to sort of spot anybody they might know in the crowd, can make me either intelligence or wits, and either politics or awareness.
I'm
I
gonna go
didn't see that.
Politics and wits.
I didn't see that I had a
Wits
known
awareness.
status within the Camarilla. 2 dots. I'm going with intelligence and wits, by the way.
Got it.
5. Yes, 5.
What did you roll?
Wits awareness.
Wits awareness?
Classic.
It's one of those special kinds of rolls.
The classic.
It's yeah.
The vibe. It's the vibe check.
It's 100% the vibe check.
Just do the vibe check.
Excellent. Blue, are you rolling,
the
or are you
vibes.
just kind of rolling your eyes at the group?
Well, I figure that Blue probably wouldn't know any of these people, considering it's not the circle she usually hangs out with.
Yeah, not your general type of circle, no. Excellent. Marlo, you notice 2 of the people that are attending this soiree are kindred of not super high status, but they are known. They are Alex. She's a Toreador, and she is known first and foremost for being the child of an ex-harpy who was unharpied in interesting circumstances, I think is what we will diplomatically say. She woke up one evening with a stake through her.
Sometimes it happens, unfortunately.
You know, you get an itch in the middle of the night, you're going to grab
Just have to
whatever's
live with
nearby.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, if I can find a pen. My room is rather dark right now. All right. Alex,
And you
Toreador.
also ex-Toreador. Sorry, no, she is a Toreador. She's ex-Harpy's child. You also recognize Fate, who is sitting in a booth, and she is most notable for being quite a well-known oracle.
I will have a chat with her later on, I think.
Excellent.
And either of the two the ones skulking around?
No. No, Alex is having a chat to another individual who you don't recognize. And the person skulking around is off to themselves. Yep. Hunt, you also recognize Alex. You recognize Alex from a concert you once went to where she was performing. Yep.
That makes so much sense.
Blake, you recognize the individual that Alex is talking to. They are an individual by the name of Van.
Than, Than? Than?
V-A-N.
V-A-N. Van.
Yep.
Okay.
Van, as in from. And you recognize them as an individual who was talked about by a few of the Blue Bloods. They kind of cropped up in a court in the US and had no recollection of where they came from. You caught wind of it because a friend of your sire attended that court, and there was a bit of consternation of, uprising of these caitiff types showing up around the place. Who knows where they're coming from? If it wasn't bad enough that there's a bunch of thin bloods everywhere, more of these unknown elements coming up is clearly a sign of the end times kind of deal.
Yes, well, they've been talking about the end times since end times were a thing that could be talked about.
Talked about the end times since the beginning times, really.
Every generation has their idea about the end times.
Absolutely.
It's always this year or this decade.
I mean, how's that Mayan calendar going?
Yeah, I don't put much stock in it. Anyone else that I recognize?
You do recognize one of the people sitting on a booth that is holding a fishbowl cocktail.
Okay.
They actually were they're on your app and have developed quite a reputation for having good tips on how to bring down certain industries in the market. So how to depressure stocks and that sort of thing.
Okay.
You can't quite remember their name, but you do recognize them.
I now need to decide, I'm fine with people in the world knowing that I exist. I'm not sure I want somebody in this particular circle who is drinking alcohol to know that I am also here as well. So I might avoid them and do what I can to not be seen by them.
Understood. They don't seem to have really noticed you come in. They're deep in conversation and laughing with whoever else is sitting at their table.
I'm sure I could probably spin that situation if I needed to. I just don't want to have to do that right now.
Understood.
I'm going to try and
place
a group of people between them and myself.
Yeah. Don't need to do anything. Don't do it. Excellent. So the room is yours. Lacey has moved over to the bar. What would everyone like to do?
I'm going to sit in a position where I can gaze upon the entrances into the bar, looking for that particular outfit with the blonde wig.
Doesn't seem to be anyone in this room at the moment, but there is definitely a spot off to one of the sides where kind of close to where that individual's kind of skulking around. And it gives you a pretty good vantage point for the entry point that you came through and the doorway through to the other end, where you presume the sleeping quarters for people at this end of the train is.
And were people looking distastefully at Blue when she entered, given how she's dressed?
Well, as Alex kind of pauses in her conversation after laughing about something someone said, she does kind of look over as you walk past, looks at the direction that you're heading in, looks at the corner to the person who's skulking there, looks back at you, does the up and down and kind of goes, whispers something off to her friend, which you might catch as, oh God, they'll just let anyone in these days, won't they? Before resuming her conversation.
Make a mental note of that.
Yeah.
Understood.
The vibes are bad. I'm going to be annoying and abrasive to pretty much everybody, especially Alex, since I clocked those bad vibes. I would like to be asked to leave so I can go back and guard the stuff. I am just being extremely annoying. I'm quoting movies at people. I'm being very low class about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being a
saying you'll
real
be back.
Yeah. Like it's not good.
Understood. Can I get a manipulation plus performance or subterfuge from you to see how badly you managed to, or rather how well you managed to pull off this?
Do you reckon I can pull like a resolve or something? Because I'm not really trying to manipulate people. I don't really want them to. It'd be nice. Like I want to get kicked out, but I'm not trying to manipulate people into doing it. It'll be a genuine kick out.
Charisma?
Yeah, I mean it's the same. My social skills are not great. I don't really have to. I don't really have to act this. None of my social skills are good.
Here's an idea. How about, so what I'm looking for is you being able to read the situation and come up with the most abrasive thing. So what about wits?
What about insight? Could there be an insight being like, oh, I just have to be myself here?
Sure.
And that'll go poorly.
Sure.
Maybe I guess charisma and insight?
Yep.
Or charisma or lack thereof. But that's not too bad.
Let's see how it goes. So for those watching at home, the beauty of this particular type is, well, at least the way that I run it, is I get people to tell me what their goal is, and we take a look at the skills and attributes to figure out what the best combination is to make that work. And depending on what the player and storyteller come up with in a conversation, helps tell that little part of the story. So what did you roll?
I got 3.
Excellent. I had it at a difficulty of 2. So you managed to read each individual situation just fine before, Lacey kind of walks over and says, yeah. You're fishing for an out, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
Did you get one?
Can you just come and stand by me for a hot minute so we can do like a graceful exit?
I mean, I don't mind if I'm not graceful, but okay. Just to help you save face, all right.
Yeah, look, kind of my job on the line, buddy. If people complain too much, I don't particularly want to be here either, but just come help me at the bar.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Amazing.
All the action lines, loving it.
Excellent. Marlo, what are you looking to do?
I am very interested in this person skulking around. I think I'm going to swing past the bar, just assumably there's like already done drinks there, like sitting on a tray for people just to grab. I'm going to grab one.
Yep.
I'm going to go and sort of also skulk around in the corner, make myself look as not quite immediately like stealth, but just minimize the amount that people are looking at me, maybe a little bit with Shadow Cloak.
Understood. Okay. So Shadow Cloak is a free skill. You don't need to make a rouse check, and let's just say you're harnessing it ever so subtly, just to mold, become the wallflowerist of wallflowers.
Maybe not a cloak, but like a cowl.
A turtleneck of shadows.
Shadow jacket, maybe.
Oh my God. The Lasombra summer line. I can see it now. Excellent.
I've got like the whole waistcoat vest idea. Thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a cravat, if
Yeah,
you
no, I could rock
The
it.
cravat of shadows.
You cannot tell what I'm wearing right now, but it's like a silk button up. So yeah,
Oh my
I could rock
God.
that.
I need this fashion line in my life. God damn it. Excellent. So you join Blue and this other figure just kind of skulking around in the corner.
Make conversation because I can make friends.
Wow.
Just choosing not to.
I know how to pick them.
So you approach and kind of step back into the shadows a little bit. And this figure is watching both Blue and Marlowe and then scans the room and just kind of gets a bit of a smirk on their face and says, wow. And here I thought I was the ugliest bunch of people in the room, but no. Sorry. Yeah. Hi. How's it going?
It's about as well as it could be on a train full of upperclassmen.
Oh, is that what they told you?
You are in the platinum zone, aren't you?
I mean, I guess. I don't know why I'm up here.
Who paid for your ticket?
I'm guessing the same dude who paid for everybody's.
And so why are you here? If I
Why
can
are any
ask.
of us here?
I just want to know why Sarrasine's also paying for other people. I mean, we have a job to do. This was your job.
I don't have a job. What's your job? No one said anything about a job.
What did you win the Kindred lottery?
Nah,
An all
mate.
expenses paid trip to go see your favorite prince.
Ugh, don't even. I just got a letter. Kind of needed to get out of Dodge, so good a reason as any.
Convenient.
Yeah,
What
a
did
little
you
bit.
say?
Oh, just that his apprenticeship heard on the grapevine that I could be of use. And that there were opportunities in Sydney and Sydney was open to all. And then, there might have been a really untimely accident with someone's sire and perhaps a canister of nitrous oxide and some flames. But yeah.
So you listen a lot because like you're skulking around and that's cool. That's your thing. That's whatever. Has everyone else here gotten a letter too?
Look, I'm not telling you this, but
Of course not.
no one else knows why they're here either.
I could tell you why.
I'm not getting a good feeling about this, eh?
You too, huh?
I could tell you why I think you're here.
I mean, if you would like to inform a Nosferatu of something they don't know, I would consider it a
Favor?
ooh.
A kid.
And he looks you up and down and goes,
I kid.
uh,
We can have humor too.
I've never met a Lasombra that's got a funny bone at all, ever.
Well, not all of us are. The majority of them.
Mm.
Yeah, this one claims she has friends.
Yeah, sorry. That was really rude.
Cannon
Plenty of
fodder.
the Sombras have funny bones. They keep them in their collection.
Yeah, it's
You're
my closet.
not here. You're down.
I know.
It's with my other skeletons in my closet. Cannon fodder.
Wondering what everyone else
Cannon
is like.
fodder? For what?
No, bait.
Mm.
A cover story.
Oh, this face isn't fit for covers.
No, but you guys seem to be in a different carriage to us, and none of you guys seem to have been given a job. And we've been given a job and we're in a different carriage. And what's even better is we don't actually have access. So if shit starts to go down in the middle of the night in your carriage, we can't come in and help you.
Well, that's fucked.
It's like a free-for-all in your area.
A
Can I bunk with
distraction.
you guys?
I'm happy to trade. But I can't use the key cards, so
Ah, sucks to be you.
it has its perks and its letdowns.
Blake, you do notice this little conflab going
Oh yeah,
on?
no, but I'm more interested in talking with the pretty people.
Yes.
Those
So
of the shadows stick
I see them having that
together, okay?
conversation, and I see the Toreador and like fan guy that I've kind of heard about, and I'm like, well, let's turn on the charm a little bit,
God. Yep.
activate or just a little
Uh-huh.
before I walk up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, celebrity sponsorship for the win, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I am I should point out, I am actually stunning to look at. So
Okay. So as you approach this small group, Van is actually the first one that sees you, looks you up and down and says, well, hello, stranger.
hello yourself. Seems I found the right group of people to be talking with tonight.
Well, and Ash actually stops and looks around and says, I mean, really? Is it that difficult to spot us?
Well, I've just come from further down the train. Too
Oh,
many doors in the way.
My commiserations, darling.
The ambiance here is much nicer.
If that's what you want to call it, sure.
You haven't seen the other half of the train.
Oh, that bad?
Well, let's just say that the decorator should be shot and buried.
I think that would be a kindness on the world.
I'm a kind man.
Curious. And she extends her hand and says, you can call me Alex. What's your name?
You may call me Avis. Avis
Charmed.
Blake. Take the hand to the polite kiss.
And she pulls it back and says, so, you got a letter too?
I did. I assume that's why all of you are here?
That's what we can ascertain this far, yes.
Mm.
None of us truly knows why we're here, though. I mean, there's mutterings of Sarrasine building his court, perhaps some strife over in Sydney. It's
Interesting.
all a little bit of gossip and hearsay at this point, with very little evidence to put forward to it.
Well, I can say it's good to get out of Perth. Be nice to get to a bigger city.
I mean, sadly, it's still Australia. Is it really that much bigger?
Compared to Perth?
You make a valid point. Very, what's the word? Backwater? Look, I'm sure it's a lovely, quaint village to visit.
I'm sure it is, yes. But as somebody who operates in the technology sector, Perth isn't really the place to be doing business. Sydney, that's the place in Australia where deals get made.
Doesn't that all happen on the computers now?
Yes, but sometimes you need to look in someone's eyes and really get the feel for someone.
I see. Interesting. I prefer to have people do that for me. But, and she looks you up and down and says, maybe we can talk when we alight from this charming journey.
I would enjoy that.
Lovely. Well, Van, darling, and she rolls over to Van. If you will excuse me, both of you, I have to go powder my nose. And she starts to walk over to the group of humans that were sitting with the cocktails in front of them, taps one on the shoulder and takes their hand and slowly leads them past Marlowe and Blue and your new friend through to the sleeping quarters in the other end. Hunt, Lacey leans over to you and goes, quick, while everyone's distracted.
Out.
Done.
Like, and I am actually very, very sneaky, so I can do this very easily without people noticing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing I can do. So once I've made enough of a nuisance of myself that people don't want me here, I can do the exiting without and go where I please without really being spotted.
Excellent.
Gonna do
Excellent.
you good old silence of death, and yeah.
Perfect. Silence of death again. It doesn't require a rouse check.
Nope.
You can just sneak on off.
I'm like, thanks. Gone.
Yep.
Into
Lacey
the darkness of the hallway.
Blinks and turns to catch a glass as the train lurches just ever so slightly again, and as she turns back, you're gone. Excellent. What are you first hunting off to go and do?
Dish. Hunt is hunting for that door again. I want to be back at the cargo bay. I'm nervous about not being there.
Cool. And once you get to the cargo bay, you just want to kind of scope it out, keep an eye out.
No, I'm going inside, and I'm just gonna like hunker down behind some boxes and basically be functionally invisible in there.
Got it.
And then if anybody comes in,
Whack 'em.
who is not one of my three pals, one of my colleagues, I would probably fly kick them in the face, I guess.
I mean,
guess.
Ask questions later. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that is like you're happy to hang out there for the rest of the evening until someone at such a time as someone either comes and gets you, or you start to feel the sleepies from sunrise being imminent.
Yeah.
Got it. To our
I'll
group,
do like very quiet sit-ups.
it's an admirable thing to do while you're waiting. Yes.
Admiral.
This body didn't build itself.
Thank you. Come on. It's been a long day. The fact that I've got any puns left is an amazing thing.
Whoa.
Brilliant. So back to Blue and Marlowe standing in the corner. Your not so pretty friend here is scanning the room and just kind of pointing out who everybody is. You know, we've got Alex, some sort of singer. I guess every prince needs their entertainers, right? You've got Fate over there. She sees things apparently. Just points out a couple of other people, humans. One of them, he looks at you, Blue, and says, reckon you might strike up a good conversation with them. They go in for that eco-terrorism kind of deal.
That does sound like a bit of my jam. And you know what sounds like your jam, Marlo?
Strawberry.
Huh? What?
What?
No. Okay. I get it. Yep. You actually can crack jokes. Okay. I get it now.
Do you believe me?
But I think you'd be good talking to the Oracle.
I did plan on going over these.
And asking who wears the blonde wig, see if she can see the person in the blonde wig.
I'll chat with her. I'm not going to divulge important confidential secrets in front of people who may not need to know about their confidential important secrets.
Saying,
Thank you
hey,
to our Nosferatu friend.
We don't think it's the Nosferatu going to show up in a blonde wig and a...
I mean...
I need to rewrite part of this story.
Don't knock a bit of scar wax, a bit of primer. And
exactly. If anything, the Nosferatu needs the costume more.
But there was no like
I need to make a new character. Oh my goodness.
But like you could just say, look, do you foresee trouble happening, or
I know how to do my job.
Are you having this conversation in front of the Nosferatu?
Yeah, that's why I was like, maybe we should share these details in front of our friends.
Watching this conversation happening, and they're like, hey.
The Nosferatu's talking about eco-terrorism with me, so and like seems to like setting things on fire.
It feels like there's a difference between talking about eco-terrorism in general and the important confidential job that we've been brought on this train to do.
But Blue has bonded about fire, explosions and terrorism.
I will lean over to our Nosferatu friend. It's Marlo, by the way.
Ah, nice. Switch.
Switch. Do tap me on the shoulder if you see anybody in a blonde wig and a black dress.
I mean, is that likely to happen?
Potentially.
50-50.
Blonde wig,
Interesting.
black dress, black gloves.
Très chic, I guess. All right.
Thank you.
Give me a second. And in front of your eyes, they completely disappear.
Just nice
Like
things.
that must be so weird to see. Like I didn't even look away. I was looking right at him. He just disappeared.
You just blink and they're gone.
Yeah.
Literally looking right at him, and he just
Nice
disappears.
things.
As I said, clans of the shadows stick together.
Yeah. See, we both have and I mean, realistically, they could have been skulking around and heard us talking about it anyway.
I mean,
Yeah, just assume the Nos knows. Just assume the Nosferatu overheard you at some
Yeah.
point.
every
Yeah.
room has at least 3 Nosferatu in it. It's a
Well-
safe bet to make.
I will leave you to your eco-terrorism, Blue. I'm going to go talk to Fate over there. Don't blow the train up.
No, I don't need to. You know, it's moved on from the days of steam trains and stuff like that. It doesn't cause that much destruction anymore.
Sure.
And more's the pity.
Too many sales face. What a fail safes. What a bummer.
I will just leave Blue and go over to where the Oracle is.
Excellent. Blue, are you making your way over to said potential eco-terrorist?
Certainly am. And I'm going to have my phone out and it's going to be like, hey, have you guys seen this app?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're marketing the Ventures app
Amazing.
for free? What is wrong with you?
It's a good app. It
Don't
works.
feed us go.
Amazing.
Good app.
Excellent.
Give me more user data I can manipulate later.
Yes, exactly it.
The true value of the app.
Excellent. Excellent. Marlo, as you approach Fate, she's sitting in a booth with a table in front of her, and her hands are on resting on the table, and in front of her is a deck of cards, and she just looks up at you. This person is quite young looking, very white hair, white eyebrows. Her eyes are very, very pale blue, and she's dressed in like patchwork kind of crocheted bits and pieces of a dress, maybe like it's part dress, part dress shirt. It's a very interesting design, whatever it is. I'm sure Ash would have a field day with her. Sorry, Alex would have a field day with her. It's just, it's a look. But she looks up at you and she says, "Oh, you're not supposed to be here."
How so?
You got the letter too, right?
I did. A bit different to yours, I would take it, but I did. May I? I gesture to the other side of the booth.
Please. And she extends a
Please.
hand. And as she pulls her hand back towards her, she picks up the cards in front of her and starts shuffling. Do you mind? I find it calms me down sometimes.
I'm not going to stop you from doing things.
Thank you. Well, you've come a long way.
A considerable distance, but aren't we all going a long way today?
I suppose the journeys we go on are all long regardless of our point of origin and destination, really.
This is a 4-day train ride, after all.
Oh yeah, the train. And she starts laying cards down in front of her. She lays down the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. And she says, I don't think your letter was meant for you. I think originally it was going to be for somebody else. But they're not with us anymore.
The mailman got it wrong.
I think that Sarrasine's mailman couldn't possibly get it wrong. I think maybe the definition of right got changed. But
And what
I'm
would you
glad you're
change?
here.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm here too.
Your friends are very strange. And coming from me,
Yes.
that's really strange.
I can agree with that. They are a peculiar bunch.
Doesn't make sense that you're all here all together.
I agree. It is a mixed bag of individuals. It's almost too conveniently odd.
She picks up the 2 cards that are in front of her and starts shuffling again and says, "But you've got a question."
I've got a few, but I'm sure you're probably only going to answer 1 or 2.
Well, I don't know a lot, but sometimes the cards show me things. So if you ask, I'll see how many they'll answer.
Something's going to happen either tonight or tomorrow night. Something potentially dangerous, isn't it?
She lays 3 cards down. The first card is the Magician. The second card is Chariot. And the third card is the Tower. She goes, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Pretty bad, actually."
I would say that our chariot might derail.
Could be.
Of what faction is going to be trying to derail this chariot?
Ooh. That's a tricky one. She lays 2 more cards down, and it's the Devil and Strength. Oh, well, I think that's a bit telling, don't you?
Very. Not good for me. Not good for anyone, but especially not good for me.
Could be fun if you play your cards right.
Where are they? Not where are they now?
Where are they right now? And she points at the cards that she just played out.
What disguise are they currently wearing?
Ooh. Oh, I don't know if the cards can show me that, but let's give it a go, shall we?
I believe them.
She lays out 3 more cards, and it's the Moon, the Star, and the High Priest. I don't know that they're here yet.
So they'll be getting on the next stop.
Could be. And she pulls
Incredibly
the
insightful.
cards together. Was it? Oh, I hope it's helpful.
Well, it does let me know that it may. It will more than likely they're waiting along the line if they're not already here.
Maybe. Well, I'm feeling a bit tired, so I might go to bed, but it was really nice talking to you.
Thank you very much, Fate.
Say goodnight to your friends for me.
I'll do my best to catch up with them.
Good night, Marlo. And she pulls her cards up, steps up, and walks through to the bedrooms. And at this point, Lacey taps the 3 of you on the shoulder, having watched as Fate disappeared out the room, and said, "Party's winding down. It's probably best to get back to bed."
Be cautious. Does the train plan to stop during the day?
I mean, not normally, but we do stop at Cook for refueling.
That's what I mean. When does the train next stop?
So it should be about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Do keep a very, very keen eye out on if anybody gets on.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Or if
I don't
anything
think we're
gets on.
it's like it's a nothing town. But yeah, sure.
Doesn't
Keep an
matter.
eye out.
Thank you once again.
All right.
I say to my new companions that I've met,
Mm-hmm.
Van, it's been a pleasure speaking with you tonight. Perhaps during this trip we'll have the chance to make your acquaintance again.
I should hope so. Your conversation has been most enlightening.
Then I'll turn and make my way back to the rooms.
When I get back to my room, may I please check the letter that we received again?
Mm-hmm.
Does the envelope look like it's different type of paper to the letter inside? You know how when those real rich fuckers write letters, their envelopes match the paper it's on? Is this
So no.
similar?
The envelope is very heavy cardstock and the letter is almost that onion skin kind of paper.
So there's a potential that somebody opened these and rerouted our mail.
Potentially.
Well, you just know about yours.
Well, all of ours look the same, did they not?
You have seen? Have you seen?
Going to go ask everyone just before sunrise, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll pull out mine too.
As you get back into your room to go and grab that letter, you do notice that there is a note sitting on the bed. Each of you, as you enter your rooms. Hunt, have you entered your room or are you still in the cargo?
Nah, I'm still in the cargo bay.
All right.
Constant vigilance.
Amazing. So all of this is going on. Hunt is none the wiser.
I am
probably how he prefers
I am the
it.
wiser. I am ready. I am prepared. I'm guarding the cargo. I'm doing my job.
Amazing.
Probably wrong.
So Marlo, Blake, and Blue, as you enter your room, you your beds are now folded out into a full bed, and there is another white envelope on your bed.
The same card?
It's
as the
different.
envelope we have.
It's different. It's almost marbled.
Okay.
And inside, it's square shaped. Inside is just a simple square note and a handwritten note inside of it that just says that things are not as they seem. I'm sure you're already aware of that. I think we have things to discuss. I'll see you in the cargo car tomorrow evening. And it's signed with an L.
I'm going to take this letter and I'm going to go knock on the door of everyone and just sort of beckon them into my chambers.
Cool. As you go to knock on Hunt's, there is no answer.
How far is the cargo hold from here?
It's in the next car. How long?
I'm going to, just sort of, while everyone else is getting themselves situated, I'm going to go knock on it.
I'm assuming everyone else is going to go into Marlo's room with no questions.
I mean, it's a bit weird that Marlo would say, "Come in here," and then Marlo leaves.
And then disappear.
Meet me in my room.
So what you mean is it tracks.
Meet me in my room in a
yeah.
moment, sort of situation.
Okay.
Amazing.
Law and I having a conversation just in the hallway outside Marlo's door, just catching up about eco-terrorism.
Yep.
The handwriting,
Mm-hmm.
would it indicate an older style of writing or a
there's definitely flourishes that may indicate an older personage was handwriting of this. Yes. Yeah.
So none of the people Blue's talked to so far?
None. No. No. Excellent. So Marlo goes and grabs Hunt and brings him back to the room. And as everyone is gathered,
just being prudent, just in case.
Well,
I
we
don't
talked
care,
about rosters.
frankly.
Nobody
Hunt
went
said.
in.
Yep.
I have very
job.
important things to say.
And as
Discovered
everyone gets back
much.
to Marlowe's room, that is where we're going to leave it for this evening.
Darn tootin', I'm gonna forget everything by next time we play.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We will be back with part 2. This has been Shadows on the Nullarbor with our vampires on a train instead of snakes on a
Choo-choo.
plane. I've been Nephthys Nile, or Melissa. I've been your storyteller for this evening. Let's reintroduce our vampires, starting with Hunt.
Hello, I'm Alex. I've played Hunt during this session. And it's always fun playing a new kindred, a new character, because you get to discover them as you play them. Whatever's on the character sheet doesn't tend to stay stuck. So I've enjoyed discovering Hunt, and I hope you have too, and I'll see you next time.
Excellent. We've got Avis Blake.
Thank you. Yes, I am Ben Kiernan, Keirnan. I've been playing Avis Blake. It's my first time playing in 5th edition of Vampire. I used to play a little bit many years ago. You may know me as the Dungeon Master for the DN Doctorates podcast, and I'm very happy to be here and be part of this group. I'm looking forward to next time.
Excellent. Thank you. And Marlowe.
I'm Sam. I've been playing Marlo, the therapist for the dead, or psychiatrist for the dead. And the ever-present jokester, as we've all discovered.
Who would have thought the La Sombra is the funny person?
Cracking jokes everywhere. Gotta prove a point.
Amazing.
Go online a lot as a plague maiden, typically with an underscore, sometimes not. Depends if it's available.
Thank you. And Blue.
Hi, my name is Talera. I've been playing Blue tonight, and it's been fantastic to decide just how impulsive Blue is. Very tempted during that diner scene to stand up on a table and yell at who else got a letter, but managed to resist.
The resolve is strong with this one. Excellent. Thank you so much to my vampires. Thank you to you for watching. Enjoy the rest of Melbourne International Games Week, and watch the ARC YouTube for part 2 of Shadows on the Nullarbor. Bye.
Should be good.
Bye.